In today's episode, Chris survives his BMW biking adventure. We get a quick crypto update and note that the Australian election campaign is in full swing, so crazy times ahead. There's crazy events happening in Paris with the burning of Notre Dame. Stacy's beef of the day leads to a discussion about the arrest of Julian Assange. Then we finish on the craziest comeback of all time, Tiger Woods. So don't worry about our campaigning, it's all for your enjoyment on the Two Crazy Guys, One Crazy World podcast.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Two Crazy Guys in One Crazy World podcast, where your hosts will entertain you with stories and news from around the living room and possibly other places too. So without further ado, your hosts, Stacy and Chris. Bring it on, guys.
No. It's certainly not a violent involved.
It's very true. All right, are you ready? All right.
Alrighty.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Two Crazy Guys, One Crazy World. My name is Chris, and on my left over here on the screen only, of course, is my offsider, Stacy.
Hey, Chris, how are you, mate? Good to see you back, my friend.
I know, right? I mean, I have been gone for over a week. Can you imagine a week?
I have had the quietest week ever.
I was about to say, how was your life with a week without me in it? That could be a song, a week without me in it. Oh, that's pretty cool. It would have been quiet.
It was quiet.
I have to admit, it may have had a few less decibels.
I definitely had a lot of them.
Well, anyway, how have we been going? How have we been going?
It's been busy. So we've on the podcasting side, I've been doing a little bit on the back end and getting our Patreon side up and running and getting used to how that works. I've now got the audio stream worked out so that our Patreon subscribers, they will get instant access to our audio feeds, which you can do in your straight in your like if you've got an iPhone or whatever in your podcast podcast library. I'm going to hold this up so you can actually see this. So you can actually set up. I'm going to show you.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Stacy is showing you a picture of his iPhone. It is a really sexy iPhone too.
So you can our Patreon subscribers can get their own customised RSS link, which we
actually do have subscribers now, which is very good.
Yes. And thank you for reminding me, Peter Setnage, such a champion, such a legend, our very first subscriber. He was right in there, and
that was awesome.
He goes up there on the mantle as our number one supporter.
As our first ever, our number one supporter. Now, I follow Cronulla Sharks, right? Just like title, slight digression because of the number one supporter. They always have a number one supporter, as I guess most teams do. They've had people like Al McPherson and everything else. Well, guys, ladies and gentlemen, knock them all up. We've got Peter.
That's right, absolutely. And I tell you what, he's a damn sight more interesting than most of them. So
I don't know. Have you ever met Elle McPherson?
No, I can't say
she's pretty damn interesting. I grew up with her, so she's pretty damn interesting.
I'm not talking about her looks, mate.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, hey Pete, welcome.
Yes, indeed. So it's all coming together, and we're getting the. And for those that do support us, and you can do that for less than a cup of coffee a month. So jump in there, support us, and you'll get instant access to our new new podcast episodes as they come out, along with a few other little special things that just our subscribers will get access to,
which will be pretty damn good.
Absolutely. So and then we distribute them out. The free versions thereof go out to the wider audience. So that's sort of how the process is sort of going to work.
Well, we'll figure it out as we go anyway. Because
it's a big
learning process. If you understood what Stacey said just then, you're way ahead of me, and I'm supposed to be involved in this stuff. So yeah.
Some of us have been off traipsing around the countryside, while some of us are working.
We have. Well, actually, you've got to look at it from a different angle, right?
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, you're sitting back doing this. Yeah, that's a good angle. You're sitting back doing this back end stuff, right? You're doing the back end stuff, okay?
Yeah.
And you've been putting out the podcast and doing a wonderful job. Wonderful job. Now, could you imagine if you'd asked me to do that? Right? What would be happening today was you'd be saying something along the lines of, Chris, number 2, is it there yet? Right? Whereas I've come back and I don't even have to ask those questions. So it's really all about you. You are saving energy for both of us.
Yeah,
I don't have to make up an excuse, and you don't have to wonder if it's happened. Right? It works. Stacey, you have to admit it works. But when we talk about the back end, when we talk about the back end, you see, Stacey's been working in the back end, whereas I've actually been out and about in the back end of Australia.
You have? Do tell.
I have. You see,
because I am jealous, actually.
No, it's not that back end, right?
No.
Right? I've been out there on a thing called a BMW GS Safari. Now, what that is
cool.
It's organised by BMW Motorrad Australia, and the off-road training guys, and it's people who own a BMW GS, which are, as we all know, are adventure bikes, and they do a huge plan. Massive amount of administration and logistics go into getting it all together. And over 250 riders, we all met in Windsor, had the first night in the welcome dinner in Windsor, and we then traipsed via dirt roads as much as possible from Windsor to Cessnock to Port Macquarie, a couple of days there and around Port Macquarie, out to Armidale, then across the Coffs Harbour.
Wow.
So all up, I did 2,700 kilometres, of which just over 1,000 was on tar, that was most of which was to come home. All the rest of it was through mountain trails. Some of them were like this, some of them were like that. It's like some really beautiful sweeping countryside.
So for those listening on audio, Chris was indicating the angle of the slopes and the mountains that he was going over.
Yeah. And for someone like me who last rode dirt when I was 14 years old, and since I'm like 21, that's like 7 years.
Now, did you lose your memory while you were out there?
Hang on, don't go away.
We've killed
Sorry,
him.
ladies and gentlemen, I have to mute occasionally because I've swallowed so much dirt on this ride that my lungs haven't cleared yet and I'm still coughing and spluttering. So if I sound a bit funny, I'm not actually sick. It's just the fact that I have like an asthma-type condition happening through the amount of dirt that I've swallowed.
You brought half of Australia back with you.
Oh, mate. The reason I've swallowed so much dirt is that I'm not the fastest rider in the pack at 250. I'd be about the middle of the pack, and so therefore there's an awful lot of guys in front of me raising an awful lot of dust on the trails which I have to ride through. So, back to the ride. So on the first day, everyone had told me the first day was the easiest day. Now, it was pretty good. It was a couple of little tiny challenges, nothing outside of anything that I'd really get nervous about, although I was nervous to be going to start with. Then we hit the place called the Wattigans. Now, anyone who lives on the Central Coast will be aware of the Wattigans. It's the Wattigans National Park. And if you drive through there on the tar, what you get is like just 35k corner after 35k corner. It's just windy. Really steep hills, really deep valleys.
Is that bitumen or dirt?
Yeah, that's on the tar. Try going on the dirt. The dirt becomes trails. And they're not very wide trails, and they are quite rough in places. And we came to a spot that said, road closed due to washout. Danger, 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 all danger signs everywhere. But we're on motorbikes. Do you have to worry about them? Well, apparently not. We could squeeze between the boulders they put on the track and keep going. But the problem with that was, as you rounded the corner, what was the road in front of you suddenly became the road above you, and the track you had to go to, you've got a neck crank looking up.
Oh, really?
And as you go across the washouts, like what we call whoop-de-doos or Humpty Dumpties or whatever you want to call them, they're the washouts they put on the track to stop erosion through the water flow. As we're going over them, there's nothing but rock and mud and slush and slime and ruts and everything else. So my big 250 kilo bike, it's like it's on a trampoline. It's bouncing everywhere. Now, I'm normally a cool, calm, collected guy. I was shitting myself.
Sure.
And all I'm getting in the headset is just pick a track and go. Pick a track and go. Oh my God.
Where's the smooth one?
Yeah, so I got up this. I got through it with one slight little incident where I got pushed into the bank by another bike. Smacked my leg out nice and solid, so it got some really nice bruising, but didn't come off. Got up it.
I'm glad your leg didn't come off.
Yeah, that's true. As in, I didn't come off the bike in numpty nose. But what got stuck in my head was everyone was saying this was the easy day. And that little section there, which probably only took 15 minutes, half an hour to get through, was as hard as I ever want to have to go on a motorbike, especially one the size of mine, right? And so I'm thinking, this is the easy day. What the hell is tomorrow going to bring?
I do have to say, the photos of you on that at the end of that first night, you looked a bit shell-shocked.
So I was a little bit shell-shocked, right? And if they had said to me right there and then, do you want to go home? I would have said, yeah, can you ship the bike, please? There's just absolutely no doubt in the world I would have.
Yeah,
but what transpired was, overall, the next day was actually easier. It was wide open trails through sweeping countryside. It was fantastic. And the day after that was the same, and the day after that was the same, and the day after that was the same. Now, it was just awesome. So what I say to anyone...
false sense of security.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, I got into my own head. And so what I learned from all of that was, there were a few things, obviously. I learned to ride a lot better on dirt, but trust the bike. Trust it. Point it where it's got to go, hit that throttle, and it's going to go there, right? Yeah. And just stand up, like be standing up because you've got your legs are an extra level of suspension, and it'll go anywhere. I mean, it'll go places that I can't go because I'm not good enough rider. It's just that simple. But a BMW Safari, folks, if ever you get the chance, if you own a GS, because you have to have a GS, go on it. It's not cheap, but by God, the organisation and everything else makes it so worthwhile. And the countryside you get to see is just amazing. It's stuff that you won't normally see. So... yeah, get out there, get it done. The only thing I'd say also, watch out for kangaroos. On day 5, we heard a rumour there were a lot of animals out. 40 minutes later, I smacked one, and I smacked it full on. Now, I was really lucky. I wasn't going too fast, and it hit just behind the front wheel, tried to throw me into the trees, but I hit the throttle, and that straightened the bike up. So I ended up with a damaged exhaust pipe. And that was it. All the rest of it was okay, except for my heart rate. You couldn't have counted that for about an hour. And Skippy, poor Skippy. I was
going to say, how was Skippy?
Yeah, Skippy wasn't very well. Skippy was, I thought, dead on the road, but Skippy wasn't. Skippy was laying down unconscious. And I'm a kind and generous person, and I didn't have a, what are they called, one of the knives, a multi-tool with me. So I couldn't end Skippy, which if she had been too badly injured, I would have. But I went over and I stroked Skippy's head and went to get Skippy off the road, and she woke up and sort of crawled off the road herself. No, she was too badly injured, but she didn't have a broken leg or anything like that. And so she was off the road. She stood up and started to hop a bit, and the blood flow was starting to ease off a little bit. So hopefully she's all right.
All right.
But it's wildlife. Who knows? I don't know. But it is. I did everything I could, and the biggest thing I got out of that was, by God, I'm glad I didn't come off too.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Really am. Anyway, that was my BMW GS Safari. Awesome. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to hand over to my offsider here, Mr. Stacy Basel, for our crypto update. Over to you, Mr. Basel.
Thank you, mate. Look, we'll do a quick one because we've got a lot to get through this episode, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. But just a bit of an update. We've definitely had quite a bit of a volatile week, and as you just brought up the coin checkup graphs. Here at the moment, Bitcoin, you can see over the last 7 days, it's jumped up to a bit of a peak. It's dropped back down.
What did it get to? What was its peak?
That's a good question. Let's have a quick look. And in the last, let's go 7 days. So it looks like we got about, not quite to 5.4.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
So, no, about, yeah. But it's the fact that it's still holding above the 5,000 mark is still positive from my perspective, and because it's only a month ago we were sitting at 4, so it's definitely made that leap up, and it's still holding that support at this point.
Awesome. Don't lose that page for a second. I just want to say one thing to all the people out there who can see this. Those that can't, I'll try and explain. Stacy's got up the page. It's got, I can see 19 different cryptocurrencies on there. And I won't go through what they are, but you can get lots more and you can go down. Now what it shows a little graph for each one of them. And the thing that you'll notice if you ever do get into cryptos and you open up one of these pages, Bitcoin's always at the top, or generally at the top. But if you have a look at all the graphs, they're incredibly similar. I.e., the dips and dives, the whole market generally follows crypto. Bitcoin.
Follow Bitcoin.
There's only two in that whole graph that don't. right, out of those 19. All of the rest of them, incredibly similar shaped graphs. So you can always bet, regardless of whether you're doing Bitcoin or Redcoin or Tether or Stellar or anything else, it's going to follow in the same sort of pattern. Bitcoin goes up, it'll go up. Bitcoin goes down, it'll go down. Anyway, that's my 2 cents worth on crypto.
Yeah, that's right. And as a general rule, the altcoins do follow suit, because Bitcoin is still over half of the entire market cap of the cryptocurrency world, and you do get the odd breakouts here and there. And one of the interesting things that has happened in the last week in the old Twitter sphere, if you follow the crypto world, that Dr. Craig Wright, who's the Australian computer scientist who has claimed that he is either Satoshi Nakamoto or is part of that group. Oh, yeah. And this has been happening over the last couple of years, and everyone's sort of been on him to prove it, and he hasn't been able to. He thinks he can, but he doesn't. And but there's another Twitter user who's just started hounding Craig Wright around Bitcoin SV, which is you got Bitcoin Cash, which was the original split from Bitcoin, right?
Yep.
And then they had a disagreement, and that got split again, and now they've got a Bitcoin SV, which is supposed to be Satoshi's vision, which is what Dr. Craig Wright is leading. So interestingly, now a couple of the really big exchanges have said they're going to drop Bitcoin SV.
Yeah.
So, and because Craig Wright has actually come out and served legal notice to a couple of these people around defamation, to say that, basically he's going to sue them for defamation because they keep saying he's fake, right? And so it's quite interesting in a world where you've got a lot of different projects that they're actually coming together against Dr. Craig Wright. So it's an interesting space. We'll see how that goes. So you will notice that Bitcoin SV down here on number 14 at the moment, that's dropped down the market cap list a bit, and in the last 7 days it's dropped 31%. Dropped 23% in the last 24 hours in particular, because this is when all the most of the news has hit. And conversely, Bitcoin Cash, the other side of it, has jumped up 4.5% in the last 24 hours. So there'll be money coming out of SV and going into Bitcoin Cash. Wow. So it's interesting news. So
it is, isn't it?
Yes. So look, there's really not a great deal of news to talk about in the crypto space at the moment. It's still moving up. It's holding its support, and we'll see what happens from there. So
cool. Thank you, Mr. Stacy Basel, ladies and gentlemen. Our crazy crypto update.
No worries. Let's go into some crazy news then.
All right. Okay. I've got a couple of things. Whether they're crazy or not, I don't know, but I think that it's a little bit crazy that it happened. Israel Folau. Oh my God. How could that guy not think that his comments would get him in trouble? I mean, last year, Qantas almost pulled their sponsorship of the rugby over Israel's stuff. He's a brilliant player. He's a brilliant sportsman. There's no two ways about it. And I don't, what's the word? I don't, something him, his religion. I can't think of the word. Oh my God, I got a total brain fade. He's entitled to his religious beliefs.
He's entitled to his beliefs.
Absolutely entitled to his religious
personal
beliefs.
comments.
But he actually had to sign a contract that he wouldn't put out comments like that. And now he's gone and done it, and he's saying he's going to fight his dismissal.
Yeah, I would only say, like, we've got to be open to free speech, but there's a difference between free speech and hate speech.
That's hate speech. What he put out was hate speech.
What he's saying is wrong. It's absolutely wrong.
What he put out, saying that gays and all of them, fornicators, whatever it was, were all going to go to hell, is hate speech.
Yeah,
he's entitled to his view, but he has to understand. Yeah, he has to understand that he is an international rugby star. He's one of the greatest players in the game, and people follow him on Twitter and everything else, and he can't say it. And he signed a contract to it. And the head of their biggest sponsor, Qantas, is a homosexual. What did he think was going to happen? Right?
Exactly.
It's just that easy. So I wanted to say, as crazy as it is that he did it, I also wanted to give the old Navy term bravo Zulu, which is excellent, well done, that to Rugby Australia and the New South Wales Rugby for taking a firm stance. And also to a mob that I think need a shovel up their butt most of the time, the NRL, for saying he can't come back there, he doesn't meet the character test. Peter Beattie, chairman of the NRL at the moment, fantastic job coming straight out to say it. Israel, pull your friggin' head in, right? And obviously, get on with what you do best, rugby.
Yep.
If you can find a team that'll have you, because I don't think Australia will. Anyway, that's my crazy little bit of news there. The other crazy bit of news, Notre Dame.
Yeah,
How crazy is it?
I'll just bring that up.
That's insane.
Unbelievable to think what's going on there.
It's just insane. Apparently, a
visited
couple of
there-
American tourists smelt smoke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I was just trying to bring up some photos. Here's some photos of it burning.
It's just insane. I know it's real news, ladies and gentlemen, but it's just crazy to think that something like Notre Dame, because I saw that on TV and I just stopped dead. I was like, what? That's insane. It's one of the most iconic places in the world, in history.
They are hoping that the towers will be saved, but I don't know. It's
No, they've said that they've saved them. News report a little while ago. And, unbelievably, the wooden church pews, the pews down in the cathedral, they saved them.
What?
They've saved them.
How did that happen?
How? Don't know, but it's just awesome. Anyway, that brings me to a crazy little thing. Apparently Trump said something that's got the world in thing. But, crazy little quick snippet for you. When I was over in England, which is several years ago now, probably longer than that actually, 15, which is slightly more than several, we were at Windsor Castle.
Yep.
And we're walking and a plane flew over. And an American tourist, now we all love our American tourists, we love Americans and we love everyone, but an American tourist turned to the tour guide and asked a very serious question after the plane flew over. She said to this tour guide, "Can you tell me why they built the castle under the flight path?"
No!
True story! And she was deadly serious that this castle that is hundreds of years old was built. She couldn't understand why they built it under the flight path.
That makes my head hurt.
Absolutely. I was dumbfounded, but she did have a follow-up question when we got to the Great Staircase. She asked what the staircase was used for. To which the tour guide, totally unflappable, just turned around and said, "To go up and to go down, madam."
I got to give kudos to the tour guide.
How do
you keep a straight face?
That is hand on my heart, a 100% true story. This lady had no idea why they built it under the flight path and what the stairs were for.
Dear.
It takes all sorts to make up this crazy world we live in.
That is crazy. What
about you, Mr. Bosa? You got any crazy news of the day?
Oh man, look, we've got the election's in full swing. So let's face it, anything there's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Look, I do want to. One of the things we want to do over these next few weeks, if we've got to put up with this crazy crap from the politicians, let's at least try and put a, some sort of lens over it to, rather than just, look, we all love just piling shit on the pollies, but at the end of the day, we've got to elect somebody. We've got to make a decision. So I want to try and look at some of the topics that are around and educate the folks as we can. This is an interesting one, right? It looks like Peter Dutton may be battling to hold on to his seat. From a personal view, with some of the legislation that this man is trying to get through, I'd be very happy to see him go.
Yeah. I'd be happy to see him go because of the damage he's done to the government.
Yeah.
Full stop. The government would not be in the turmoil it's in now if it wasn't for Dutton.
He's definitely caught. Well, I mean, he was instrumental in getting rid of. Oh man, I can't remember our last Prime Minister.
Oh, we've had a few this year.
Oh, man, it's just gone blank.
Yeah, so have I, you know. Now you said that. So
Are you serious?
Who was before ScoMo, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, it's only been weeks.
The rich guy. The rich fella.
Oh, this is terrible. How did we forget him?
The rich guy.
That is horrendous. How can we forget him? He'll come. It'll come.
How many ago was he?
This is the problem, right? We swap our prime ministers so regularly that we can't.
Yeah.
It'll come to us. It'll come to us. But anyway,
No, it won't.
so his seat of Dixon here in Queensland. They've gone out and interviewed a couple of people, so it's not exactly statistically relevant, but
Yeah.
But I think it certainly shows
Malcolm
some of the
Turnbull.
issues. Ah, good on you. There we go.
I had to look it up.
Isn't that terrible? He's already gone into obscurity.
The minute you forgot, I had a brain fade.
He's long forgotten.
Absolutely.
The impact that our pollies make on us, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh dear. So look, that one's going to be an interesting one. Like I said, I'd definitely like to see this man go in particular, because from my perspective, his view of Australia is not in line with mine.
No.
And the legislation he's trying to put in to basically take away a lot of our rights, and the things he's trying to do with the encryption bills, they're just wrong. It's just wrong. And I would definitely say to anyone in the federal seat of Dixon, vote for anyone but this man, because
Except One Nation. Don't vote One Nation.
yeah. No, I don't even care. I'd rather you vote One Nation.
Yeah, no. But did you see One Nation
just
on
for
Q&A
seat.
last night?
Just for this seat? No, I didn't. No.
Right. Okay. Well, this is why you don't. Right. Last night they had some wanker from One Nation on Q&A. You know the scandal with the NRA and everything else, the 3-year thing, and all that, where they've got them on video saying they've got them on video saying, if you give us this many $1 million, we will get the gun laws changed. Right?
Yeah.
You know, you've seen all that. Last night he's on there saying, no, it's fact that when they went to America, they were just over there to get fundraising advice. They never actually asked for funds or anything else. And the host is saying,
advice.
We have the video of them asking. No. And the audience is erupting in laughter at this guy. He's standing there telling a bald-faced lie, trying to tell them they had it wrong when they're playing the video of them doing exactly what they said they were doing.
Are you kidding me?
No, and I mean, dead set, they can't even cop it. And Pauline Hanson, who I've never been a huge fan, but she's got a right to her views and everything else like that, coming out and saying Port Arthur was a conspiracy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
which we talked about. Yeah,
it's time to go. It's time to go. One Nation. Right?
The tribe has spoken.
Your torch has been extinguished. You had a chance. You had a chance to come into this country, come into our politics, and actually make a difference. All you had to do was keep your head screwed on. But someone undid the damn bolts and it fell off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's Chrissy's 2 cents worth on One Nation.
Yeah, funny.
But but I would say I agree with Stacy. Vote for anyone but Dutton.
For that seat, particularly, I'd like to see him gone. He worries.
You know what I'd love to see?
Greatly.
You know what I'd love to see?
What was that?
We all know Julie Bishop is retiring, right? She's not running again, right?
Yeah.
And everyone knows that if they had have elected her in the party room that day, we'd have a coalition government, right, coming back in, because she could.
Yeah, I have to say I would have supported her more than anyone.
Absolutely. I would love to see, very much in the way that everyone put out, vote Grant Denyer for the Gold Logie, because he hasn't got a TV show. Everyone, vote Julie Bishop. Number 1. Let's see how many million votes we can get for Julie Bishop. If we get 20 million, she can come back.
Wouldn't that be good?
They'll have to give it to her, regardless of the rules.
You reckon?
Oh, mate, can you imagine if everyone voted Julie Bishop?
Wouldn't that be crazy?
It'd be awesome.
That would be crazy.
The freely elected Prime Minister is the person that didn't run.
That's right.
It would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents worth on Julie Bishop.
Yeah, and look, I'm actually looking at my recommendation would be to vote in independent people, right? Let's get away from the two-party politics because it's not serving our country one little bit. The interesting thing though, and I've got to look it up. I did see an article that basically says it is impossible for us to get away from the two-party system because of the way they've set it up with the preferential voting system. Even if we vote independents, right? Somehow they still end up supporting one of the two bloody major parties.
Major parties, yeah. That's right. It's just ridiculous.
So I'm going to look into that and find out what the hell that means.
Right,
because I would think it would be great to just vote
it's crazy.
Independents. Just vote independents.
If
Get
I
rid
go
of the two
in
parties.
there, let's say I had a brain fade, right? Because I have been known to have occasional brain fades, right? Let's say I had a total brain fade and I woke up on the election day, right? And I looked in the mirror and I said to myself, ladies and gentlemen, please block your children's ears. Oh, you're a fucking idiot. Why don't you go vote One Nation? Right? And I went down there and I ticked the One Nation box. How the hell does that end up with Labor or Liberal?
Yeah.
I
Same thing with independents. Same with independents.
Yeah.
If you vote for an independent person, right?
Yeah.
Then somehow it's still going to end up...
I'm making a choice. I'm making a choice not to vote one of the major two parties.
Exactly. I don't want to vote either of the two parties.
Votes.
Yep. I've got to have a look into that.
Don't understand.
Yeah, crazy.
So
We'll look
we're
at that.
putting new rules in.
Right.
One vote, one person.
Oh, wouldn't that be exciting?
Can you imagine that? Whoever got the most votes out of all of the candidates, is the Prime Minister.
Yeah, wouldn't that be? Imagine that.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Could you imagine that? That
except
would be cool.
Except that, in fairness, though, it obviously then provides a preference to those in the big city electorates, right?
Absolutely.
As opposed to the West.
But could you imagine that? That would be called a fair
vote.
Can't have that. Can't have that idea.
Yeah, no. All right, we'll move on because we could bitch about that forever.
We can.
But I am going to have a bitch about something else.
This is Stacy's whinge of the day.
Yes. Well, I've got two of them.
Beef of the day.
Here's one. Yeah. Look. The
you
whole.
Only have one nation.
Well, this will be. This is just
the
crazy
other one can be
news.
tomorrow's.
This is crazy news. So, if you haven't caught up on the news, Julian Assange has basically forced out of his asylum in the Ecuadorian. What's the word?
Embassy.
Embassy. Thank you. I'm having a good run with words today. Basically, UK police dragged him out. Effectively, he wasn't even. He didn't even get to walk out. They invited them in apparently, and they literally dragged Assange out and then arrested him, and obviously for US extradition. So it's going to be really interesting. And there was supposed to be a court case, a court hearing in the UK, which apparently happened in the matter of hours, and found guilty, and then gone. I just don't know how
he hasn't gone to America yet.
Due process has been followed.
Yeah, he hasn't gone to America. They took him straight to court.
Yeah.
Right, where he was found. He pled not guilty. He was found guilty of jumping bail, right? Of whatever it was, right? And the judges held him over until May or June for sentencing, but has put a firm date on the British government or the US government to come up with reasons why he should be extradited to America to provide evidence. And so far they haven't provided it, but there is a date. I can't remember what the date was, 17th of May or something, where they had to provide evidence, or the case against him would be dismissed.
America's been trying to get extradition out of him since the Swedish charges.
Yeah, I know. Right. That's
looked like it was all made up anyway, because they were all dropped.
The whole lot's a scam. The whole lot is a scam to get him over to America.
Yeah, clearly.
Right?
Clearly.
It's, But yes, I agree with you.
The problem is that if you look purely from a law perspective, he's broken espionage laws, right?
Yep.
But the question is it right or wrong? I mean, all he's done is expose the truth to the public. That's his crime. His crime is literally exposing the truth to the public.
Yeah, but see, I'm a military person.
Yeah, but that's right. But somebody has decided, unilaterally decided that information wasn't to go out to the public. Somebody else has decided that, right?
Yeah. That's military.
That's right or wrong.
No, that's defence. That's what happens in defence. There's secret and top secret stuff that you don't get told. We're still finding out stuff from World War II because it's only just now being released.
Exactly.
Because it's classified.
And they're treating the general public like dumb idiots, like we don't deserve to belong.
No, I disagree on military secrets. I disagree.
It would have to endanger the lives of people, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, it's mostly political shit, right? Because they don't want to be caught out on what they've done.
Yeah, but
if finding out about something by WikiLeaks
did put people in danger.
What?
A lot of the stuff on WikiLeaks, they stated put people in danger. I don't know whether it did or didn't, but that's their argument.
Of course they're going to say that, aren't they? Like, that's a good excuse. But where's the evidence, right? Where's the evidence?
I don't disagree that there are some things that we could be told, but I do disagree that it's everything.
No, I'm not saying everything.
We have government.
No, as I said, it's not everything. Right?
And for this one, I think the whole thing about getting him done on the sex charges and all that was all a setup for get him to America, right? Because we know that it's all been dropped now.
Yeah, that's right.
But I do agree with the espionage laws. I don't think they should be able to extradite him over it because they've got Manning, the person in America who did it. She's the yank. Julian Assange wasn't there. You can't touch him, right? But I do agree that there's espionage laws been broken. And for an ex-military person, that's okay. We're not in wartime, so they don't have to shoot them. But why not start a little war and then shoot the spies? In wartime, they'd be shot. If it was war, they would be shot.
Scary
under military law, not under civil law. Under military law, they would be executed for spying.
That somebody could get into trouble for simply telling the truth, it just seems wrong to me at all levels, right?
But under military law, dude, they could be executed for spying.
And that right there, military law, those two words put together says everything to me.
But do you know, like talking military law, that it wasn't until 1985, not 65, 55, 85, that the death penalty was removed as an option for our Australian service personnel.
85. It took that
85.
long.
Yeah, 1985 was when the Defence Force Discipline Act was modified to remove the death penalty for military personnel.
Crazy.
Military law is a separate law to civil law.
Oh yeah, no, clearly.
I mean, absolutely. If you're done, like for simple examples, if you're done for DUI, you go to court. If you're a military person, you go to court, you lose your licence. As soon as that's over and you've been found guilty, you're then charged under military law, and you get charged under that again. And you can be demoted, fined, whole lot of stuff, detained, sent to jail, whatever.
Yep.
Right? So it's a different beast. So I don't disagree about the espionage stuff. I do disagree on a lot of the stuff around it.
Interesting topic.
I do agree.
Very
a lot of
interesting
stuff
topic.
around it. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic. Very interesting. But here you go. I've got a good news story. Kill your screen. I have a very good news story that I want to share.
Go for it.
I'll bring it up first, and then now I've got to find that little bit over here that allows me to share my screen. Oh my goodness gracious me. All right, okay, share. And share the computer sound. I'm sharing my screen. Share. Ladies and gentlemen, you can probably see me now. Look at that. Look at the latest heading under Sports Illustrated.
I'm seeing a blank screen, my friend. Here we go. No, it's going. Here it is.
Slowly it comes through.
There we go. There we go. Now I've got it. Yes.
Tiger Woods winning his 5th Masters, 15th major. Oh my
That
God.
is quite amazing.
Millions of people around the world, millions and millions and millions of people around the world said it can never be done. It's been too long. I was one of them. I never thought he'd win again. Then he won again last year, and now he's won another major. Oh my God, Tiger Woods, you are sensational. To put everything that has happened to you in the last 9 years behind you, and or 11 years since you last won a major, come back and to do this and to win the Masters after 22 years after you first won it is just
pretty amazing.
Unbelievable. So
Yeah.
Congratulations, Tiger Woods. You are a
Yeah.
champion, and what you've
absolutely.
done for sport and for golf in particular will never be repeated.
No, I have to say, quite a few years ago, most people had written him off.
Everyone.
And I think it's a testament to his character that he has turned his life around, that he has gone through everything that he has, and to bring yourself back to the top of the game, then not just the emotional issues, but the physical issues that he's had his spine fused.
Yeah, 2 years ago he couldn't walk.
Which, from a golfing perspective is just insane.
Yeah.
And in 2 years to have gone from that to winning the Masters is, I mean, it's superhuman almost. I mean, it's absolutely
and that means
crazy.
in the last 3 majors, he's come first, second, and in the top 5.
Yeah, that's crazy,
not
isn't
a
it?
bad effort.
No.
Not a bad effort.
Yeah, what do you think? Do you think he's going to push Nicklaus's records?
Well, now he's won another one. I think the belief factor comes back into play. I don't think he's got the he hasn't got the aura he used to have. People know he can beat him. They can beat him, right? That he's just another unbelievably good golfer. The thing is, he's 43 years old or 44 years old, and he's still up there with the 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds. Yep. That's the thing. But you've got people like Brooks Koepka, who has won 4 things. He's won 4 times on tour. 3 of them are majors.
Yeah.
Right? And
Huge
he
time.
he hadn't had a top 20 finish this year until the Masters comes around, and he comes second. I mean, and he missed a birdie putt on the 18th that just slipped out that would have put it into a playoff because Tiger bogeyed the 18th.
Yeah.
Right. So, and if it had gone to a playoff, I don't know what the result would have been.
No,
so,
it would have been interesting.
Will he beat Nicklaus's? There's only 3 to go, and he's probably got 5 more years, which gives another 20 majors. I think so.
Yeah. He's got a chance. He's definitely got it. He's in with a shot.
Even if he doesn't, that he's done it in this era that he's done it, and for what he's done for golf, to me, he's the greatest of all time. Jack Nicklaus was brilliant, absolutely amazing.
Yes.
However, with Jack as well, and I'm not taking anything away, he had to win. He had to be in the position to win.
Yeah.
His last major, the Masters, he won on a Greg Norman choke. Greg Norman had that in the bag on the 18th hole.
Yep.
He was in the middle of the fairway on the 18th, and he only had to par it. That's all he had to do to win the Masters, and he took the wrong club, hit it over the back of the green, and bogeyed it.
Yep.
So, I mean, history. Nicklaus had to be there. Brilliant that he won it. But Tiger, different league. He's just a different league to anyone that's ever been around.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Jack played brilliantly well, and as did Arnold and all of those people. But Tiger has just, for what he's come back from. I mean, they made a movie about Ben Hogan because Ben Hogan was almost crippled in a car accident and basically had to have assistance walking, and he came back and won again.
This will be a Hollywood blockbuster for sure.
Tiger Woods will.
They're already writing the script, surely.
I think Tiger's writing the script for him.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Yeah. And the only thing they'll leave out is the sex thing. They'll probably leave a little bit in there, but it'll be a blip on the radar.
They couldn't leave it out. I mean, that was a major.
It's a major
part
thing. It's
of
what brought him
original
down.
Downfall. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what brought him down.
But the interesting thing about that, and I think, again, it actually goes in line with our discussions earlier around the fame of young sports stars and the money involved and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. He was brought up in a very surreal environment where he was literally made out to be a god. Right? Yeah. And so he has this false sense of reality and that he was basically untouchable. Right?
Yeah. And pretty much Well, he flew these women around the world on his private jet. So no one had thing. And if it wasn't for that girl turning up in Australia, it would have all stayed together. Anyway, one of the other good news stories that came out of the Masters, Tony Finau.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Finau, he finished fifth. He was in the final group with Tiger. The reason I'm saying it's a good story, he finished fifth. Fantastic player. Comes from a background now that they told the story during the Masters. His dad was a sportsman in college. They'd moved over there from one of the, I think Sri Lanka or somewhere, right? And wanted his kids to take up an individual sport. Had a look at tennis, had a look at golf. Now, they couldn't afford either. So he got an old set of golf clubs, and they couldn't afford to go to a driving range and hit a ball. So he set up a mattress in their garage because they were dirt poor. And he had his two sons hitting balls into this mattress, and he did it off the basis of a Jack Nicklaus How to Play Golf book.
Oh, really?
Yep. And Tony Finau now is in the top 10 in the world and came fifth at the Masters and had a good shot at winning it, right, on that final day. Yep. Brilliant story. Just an absolutely brilliant story. And for people like him to be coming through. Now, one of the reasons his dad did that was Tiger Woods.
Oh, really?
Yeah, was Tiger Woods. He's like, they could be like Tiger. And Finau's 20 years younger, so Tiger came in and his dad trained him in the garage. When they went to the driving range for the first time, he saved up enough money to take them for the driving range. The pros at the driving range they've never hit a ball at a range before because they were out driving everyone there.
Holy crap.
Because they were hitting the balls so hard into that mattress.
Wow. That's awesome, isn't it? Great to hear stories like that.
Fantastic story. Well done. Mr. Basil, I think we're probably out of time.
We've done about 50 minutes, so I think we're definitely have to pull this one up.
So we'll pull this one up, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we haven't had my beef of the day, which I'm going to now save till tomorrow. But I'll give you a little hint. It's a telecommunications company called Telstra. That's just a little bit.
That's a surprise.
Yeah, I know. So, anything else, Stace?
No, mate, we'll leave it for the next one because, I think we've done more than enough on this one.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining Two Crazy Guys, One Crazy World. This is Chris and Stacy. Until next time, same bat time, same bat channel, only different place. Have a great afternoon, evening, or wherever it happens to be. Cheers. Bye.
See you all. Bye.